So then Julia drops the bombshell that, that her and Adriana slept together in the Hamptons. And do you think it's
So
true?
I had it ruined for me because I was an idiot who was scrolling on his phone a moment before in a commercial break, and I was like, damn it. So I did not have it, but
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
We are here today with Husbands Watching Housewives, Scott and Jeff. Let's welcome them.
Hello.
Guys.
thanks for having us. This is great.
Yes,
Thank you.
thanks
We're
for
very
joining.
excited.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, he's the original Housewives fan between us. When we first started dating, I was like, "Oh God, Housewives guy," and I was like, "Eventually, I'm gonna have to watch one of these." And he got me introduced, I think, with one of the Atlanta reunions.
Yes, it was season 10. Mhm.
Yeah, and reunions. I think a reunion's a good place for people to start when they haven't really housewived before, because I think it's really good to. Because I just sat down and was like, "Oh, that girl's lying. Oh, that person," and you could just easily see the mechanics going on. I think sometimes so that really got me going, and then from there, living together.
Yeah, we moved in together. We started watching all of them, basically. But funny enough, not Miami. We just started,
Yeah, we
I
kind
was
of.
wondering because I thought you mentioned in one of your podcasts that this is the first season you've watched Miami.
It
correct.
is.
Yes. I watched the first 2 seasons like way back in the day. And then I don't know about the third. And then when it came back on Peacock, we were just like, we meant to, but then we're like, we're not into that. And so that just became like the one we didn't watch, basically.
Yeah, it was kind of our thing for a while. We'll watch all the Housewives, but not Miami. But then this last few months, we had that period where there's no Housewives at all. We're like, we got to watch it. We got to give it a try.
Yeah.
Oh.
But basically, the idea for the show came. We watch all the shows, and then we would talk about it in depth, like during and after. And so we're like, we should maybe do a podcast. And we thought about it, and then we went to BravoCon in 2023, and it was after the Beverly Hills panel. We were just in line at the bar talking about what we just seen on the panel, and this woman behind us said, "Do you have a podcast? Because you sound like what you're talking about." And we're like, "No, we're just 2 husbands, who watch Bravo." And she's like, "Well, if you had a podcast, I would listen because you sound really knowledgeable."
And so
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been toying around with the idea of it, and just decided, okay, well, let's do it now. Let's go ahead and get some mics and give it a go. And here we are now, over 200 episodes later. And then meet and find people like you who do this as well. So it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice community.
It is.
It is.
It is. I mean, some of it we haven't met very many people. We were saying before we started, like there's some people with some really awful takes out there. So it's always nice to be able to find people that have some similar alignment, but also different opinions about stuff. So
Right. You want to stay rational about it, but
Yes.
like our friend Lori who does this with us too, she's like, there's nothing rational about these women. I'm like, no, I get that.
right.
We just have to stay rational about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen him throw down his phone so many times after just scrolling Twitter or Reddit and just I just can't. And he
I
throws
get
it
so
down.
fired up that I'm like, why am I getting so fired up? It's just a reality show. Even like during the
Right.
pod, like I'll just go on a rant, and afterwards I listen to it. I'm like, why was I so upset about what she said? It's just a reality show. Calm it down.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've realized I pop off very easily about things. And Wendy's like, why you get so mad? I'm like, I know, and I don't know why.
Like it didn't happen to
I'm
me.
probably mad at something going on in my house and taking it out on these housewives.
It's awesome.
So we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Miami reunion part 1. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the reunion looks. So I have them up behind me. Scott, which one was your favorite?
My favorite, honestly, I didn't think I would like it so much until I saw it on screen, was actually Marisol's. It was really like seeing the pictures of it. I was like, but I really just kind of liked the. It was a little ice skatery without being too ice skatery. It had the right amount of sparkle. So that's my favorite.
How about you, Jeff?
Mine was actually Alexia's. Like, I don't normally like yellow, but it looked really good on her, and the hair and the red lip, and it was just a nice presentation all around, I thought.
It's a little too plain for me. Just straight
Oh,
yellow dress. I was
but
like,
it was
"Eh."
very statement. It was very strong yellow, like a
Yeah.
sunburst.
Right. If you're Andy, it was orange.
Yeah,
So
Yes. Yes.
that's right.
To
And
me,
which-
Alexia's looked extremely painful up top.
That happens with a lot of reunion looks. Like, they're
It
really
does.
squeezed in, and I'm like, are the girls okay?
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. And I don't know if Alexia's has fake boobs or not. But maybe if they're fake, it doesn't hurt so bad. I don't know. It just looked very painful.
never thought about that. If fake versus real, I guess, yeah, fake would.
Like, maybe they're
Yeah.
numb. I don't know. If a listener could give us an insight,
That'd be
that'd be
great.
great.
Yeah.
Trying to think if
So
I have any
which was
friends with fake
yours?
boobs. I'll ask them.
Which was your
Yeah,
favorite,
I don't know
Kelly?
if I have any. My favorite, I like Lisa's and I liked Kiki's.
Oh, those were good. Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
good, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Kiki, like that picture, I don't think does it justice, but obviously Kiki's stunning. She
Yes.
really can't do any wrong with the fashion thing. But yeah, I thought she stood out.
And this is where Wendy comes in and says Larsa's was her favorite, right?
Oh,
She's like, oh, this is
no.
beautiful.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I said Marisol's. Marisol's my favorite.
Nice.
And Lisa I gave her number 2. She got my second spot
Yeah,
because I
that
thought
was
hers
pretty
was
good.
very nice too. But Larsa's, I heard on Anna's podcast that she looked that dress up. It was $176. Her dress.
Really?
Larsa's dress.
Larsa's?
Yes.
That's
I don't
surprising.
remember where it was
Listening
from.
to Anna.
I know, but I don't know where it was from. But $176 reunion dress. I was like, it showed. It looked like $176 reunion dress.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I've said it before. Nobody can pull off a bodysuit like Larsa. I mean, she's got the body for a bodysuit,
Right.
but not at the
Yes.
reunion.
Right.
Zhuzh it up a
Exactly.
little bit.
Zhuzh
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
Zhuzh it up.
All right, so let's get on to the reunion. The ladies arrive at 6:53 a.m., the day of the reunion. Adriana shows up with her dog, her emotional support dog, Basquiat.
How funny was that when Andy was like, yeah, Adriana, I'm getting from production. The dog has to go. Meanwhile, probably nobody was in his ear. And he was like, I don't want this dog
Yeah.
on this set. Like,
Someone
rid of the dog.
saying,
Someone is me.
yeah, exactly. That someone is me.
Larsa's talking about she doesn't do receipts for the reunion. The only thing in her phone are photos of her feet. Okay, I believe that. I
Well, she
totally
needs to get
believe
an
that.
OnlyFans plug
She's
in
making
there. I mean,
money.
Exactly. Julia is crying and emotional about all the social media posts. And then they flash the social media posts. I mean, she was getting a lot of hate on social media. She definitely was. What are your thoughts on that?
well, we're not the biggest fans of Julia's.
Yeah.
I'd say this season, but this is our first season. I really wanted to like her because I think when we watched the first season back when Miami returned, I really kind of liked her. But I was really disappointed with kind of how just she went overall. And, from the water throwing and everything, I don't know. I think she kind of deserves not all of that stuff, but a little bit. I mean, a little bit of that.
I think
vibe.
hate to a certain, Housewives fans can be a bit toxic and a bit overboard. So I think I don't hate anybody, and no one should hate anyone. You don't know these women. You may
Right.
disagree with them, but there's no need to name call or threaten or what have you. So I wouldn't go that far. I would say I strongly dislike Julia and things that she said, as well as her wife,
Yes.
which we get to like for a minute. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we will. Yes.
There's no need to like come at her so hard. So
No, I think we can all agree that has not been a good friend to Adriana this
No.
season.
Or
No.
Gertie for that matter.
no.
No,
No.
or 100. Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. That's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
She's a
that
friend of no one.
flashback to her going crazy and throwing the chair at that one event where Anna actually
Yeah,
was
right?
at?
There's a history.
Yeah. There
And
is
here's
a
the
history.
problem. There's definitely a history, but that season, it didn't work for production to show that side of Julia, so we didn't see it. But this season, it works for production to show that side of Julia.
Production's really
We're
interesting.
watching the show they want us to see.
Of course.
Yes, they really pick and choose when we get to the Gertie segment. It's like, oh, you chose that. Okay.
Yeah, for
Interesting. That
sure.
changes the narrative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does.
absolutely.
But yeah, I
It
mean,
abs-
for Julia to show up and just be already, I mean, I guess be right off the bat, like in her feelings like that, and just be so like already wound up. It's a little bit, I don't know. Part of me is like she's preparing things for later so she can have a defense of just, sorry, things have been really, really horrible for me. Where instead of actually owning up to her behavior, which she says she apologizes, but I don't know. It's very hollow to me. All that stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I totally agree as well. Next, we see Larsa brought her boyfriend, Jeff Kobe. I don't know why she feels the need to bring a boyfriend to every reunion to sit in the back and just support her, but he
Now-
was there.
Let me just interrupt. I apologize, but he's a basketball. Well, he is a basketball player. He's a basketball
Yes.
player. So my son and my husband love the NBA. Your sons love the NBA. So my
Yes.
son happened to be walking past. I said, Joe, have you ever heard of Jeff Kobe? He's like, who? I said, Jeff Kobe? I think he played for the only thing I could find on the internet, something did say he played for the Knicks one season, but then I couldn't find anything else. I don't know if he actually played for the Knicks. I think he played in where's he from? Haiti.
Oh, he's
Like
from
in some
Haiti.
farm league somewhere. He just plays in the
Farm
minors.
league.
I believe
maybe.
so.
Maybe Larsa's just downplaying. She's downgrading her famous athlete status. So she's like, the last one was a little too high profile. We need a little lower profile one this time.
Exactly. Paparazzi aren't going to, catch him doing anything illegal
Right,
at
right.
a
And Lisa's,
luncheonette in
Lisa's,
another country.
yeah, Lisa's not going to want to follow him, so it won't be a problem. It'll be okay.
Exactly.
Yes. Andy kicks off the reunion with a shot of tequila for himself and the ladies, which I thought was a little odd. And he did say it's the
Yes.
first time they've ever done that, but I don't know if that's really the way to start it. Just saying.
Well, Jeff was joking that after the Beverly Hills reunion where Garcelle just got up and walked away, he was like, we got to do the kind of the kumbaya at the beginning of the reunion this year.
Maybe, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. A
Absolutely.
good point.
But other housewives are like banned from drinking at all at reunions.
Yes.
Miami, they're doing shots ahead of time. They're pre-gaming. They're pre-gaming
Yes.
the
They're-
reunion.
Well, I think
Yes.
it's probably a part of Marisol's contract that if there's not a shot at the beginning and the end, she won't do it.
Yes.
So she got a cocky cart off to the side.
A cocky card.
Andy asks Adriana who has a higher sex drive, her or Basquiat. Because she took her dog to get that before he got
I
fixed.
forgot about
Oh, yeah.
that. Yes.
I thought
You know
when he
what's
started,
funny? So my
Like-
daughter's favorite artist is Basquiat. And I thought he was talking about the artist. I'm like, why would he ask that? I didn't realize that was her dog's name. I'm sure
thought
I saw it in the episode, but I forgot.
I thought it was the French boyfriend for
that's
a second.
what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about the French
Yes.
boyfriend who just disappeared. Like they
Yeah.
made out for 4 episodes, and that's the last we saw of him.
Where did he
Did
go?
disappear.
It was the
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got
I
it.
Funny.
forgot about that.
That last
really-
hurrah before she had him neutered, she took
Right,
him.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So weird.
To the
Yeah,
doggy
yeah, yeah.
Weird
brothel.
thing.
Yes, that
Yes.
was, yes. I thought that was, I mean,
I
I
can't
thought it was
remember
funny
if-
that he brought it up.
Right. I can't remember if I thought I Googled if that was a serious thing that like existed in Miami, like a doggy brothel. But then, you get into some really bad search results after you search dog brothel.
And now it's on your history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully my husband doesn't look at my search browser.
I did not.
Let's see. Then he brings up that Julia is coming up on her year with the boys, with her and Martina. And that Lisa recently rang the opening bell at NASDAQ for her new company, Splitwell. I'm here for that with Lisa. I was so excited
Yeah.
before the season started. She was on Two Teas in a Pod and she was talking about it and she was explaining it and she actually understood what it was, which I'm sorry, for Lisa, I think is amazing. Because honestly, prior to her talking about it, I really didn't think she was the brightest bulb, but she really knew what she was talking about.
Right. No, that app idea sounds
It's
great.
very smart. Yeah.
Like you'd think that there'd be something like that already, and then just to see that, you're like, oh, that's a smart thing to have created.
And the name is good too. Yeah.
Yes.
The name's very good. And I think there is something, like I said, we live in Jersey and my girlfriend went through a horrible divorce and it took like 3 years. And there was an app that she was using.
Oh,
I
wow.
think that's a
The
court app,
judge
though.
it's
Yes.
a court app. The judge was privy to it. The attorneys, any therapists or counselors involved are privy to it. So, but the name of that was so clever.
Yeah.
And if she can get it, to be used in courts and stuff like that, that would be amazing.
I think what you're talking about was actually something that Drew and Ralph on Atlanta talked about when they're going through their divorce, about like, and with the judge and the therapist, and now they're all on
Yes.
some sort of app to communicate and, saying what they couldn't do and whatnot. So that's interesting.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
No, I was kind of rolling my eyes at the whole idea of like, I rang the bell on the NASDAQ and I rang the bell on the NYSE. And I was just like, that's like such a symbolic thing these days. But like, it's not like I guess trading does begin with the gavel, but it's not like, back in the 80s and 90s when it was all hell and mayhem once that happened. But it's just a weird thing that both of them had that opportunity. It was just something that I don't think about on a regular basis. So
Right,
it's interesting.
right.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
My sister's actually done that.
Has she?
Oh, yeah?
I think
That's
my sister's
interesting.
done that. She works in the finance industry in Manhattan. And isn't that terrible? She probably told us and we were like, oh, well, that's really cool.
Like,
But now we know Gertie and Lisa did
big
it.
deal.
yeah, Gertie did
And
it
Carrie
too,
Bradshaw.
right?
I'm excited that Gertie and Lisa did it, though.
There you go.
Yes. Priorities.
Priorities.
And sisters.
They know who I am.
There you go. We find out that Alexia, her divorce is final now. And as of the taping of the reunion, she has no contact with Todd. But, I mean, after the reunion, everyone saw the video that Todd put out. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Which video was
Yeah, I don't
this?
think I saw
the
the
one he's
video.
talking about
So he put out a video.
suing Bravo?
Yes. You guys didn't
No.
see it?
No.
You have to see it.
This is breaking news for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
So that was after the reunion film.
After
Okay.
it filmed, yes. Before it aired, after it filmed, he put out a video, like a 10-minute long video, and Todd is known for his videos, about the truth of really what happened with him and Alexia, and that he did not leave Frankie alone, like she made it sound like, and that Frankie's father is very involved in Frankie's life, which we've never heard, and that he's been there for Frankie, and he fought to get Peter and Frankie compensated on the show, and really a little bit more about what really was happening. And that he is...
If you go to his Instagram, you can watch it still.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I just kind of stay away from all things Todd because just honestly, I'm just so tired of hearing about him. And so like even in this episode where she's like, oh, we have no contact. I'm like, but by the time the new season starts, are you going to be talking about him again? Is he going to be back in your life? You're going to be having nooners with him? Like I just,
Exactly.
so over it.
Do you believe the Todd video, or what are your thoughts on that?
I believe the Todd video. I actually think Todd has more credibility than she does, to be quite honest with you. Because I think with her, it's all about her staying relevant on Miami. She's not giving up. She's not giving up that mojito. Even though she said she would, she's not giving up that mojito. She's not.
No.
And what he said on the video is right. So he wasn't shown in a very good light last season. I mean, it was his actions, and, production does what they do. He not only, left Alexia and they're separated, but he wants nothing to do with the show. However, Alexia's whole storyline this season was him.
But that's not Bravo's fault. That's Alexia's fault.
That's Alexia.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
She just kept making it all about him, and would have enjoyed more about her separate from him. But we don't always get that.
I did think the part about their father was very interesting. That how involved he is in their lives, but you don't ever hear that.
Never, not once. She's never once
from
right.
her.
No, from her. She's never once said anything about Frankie and Peter's father on the show in a positive, ever.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anything out of her mouth about anyone other than Todd. Really, so and,
Yeah.
of
And
course
the other husband who
Herman.
died.
right,
Yeah,
Herman.
Right.
Yeah. And she
You guys
does
know all
finally
the names.
admit.
So Wendy and I have literally both been watching Housewives since OC first season, 2006.
Like non.
Yeah.
Did you ever take a break? Were there some seasons you were like, nope?
Nope.
I have. I didn't watch
you-
Atlanta for a few seasons.
You gave up on
know.
Atlanta. And
I
you
took
never
a
watched
break from
Dubai.
Atlanta. I never watched Dubai.
I mean,
You're okay.
Dubai was good though. I mean, it was.
I
you know,
liked
it was-
I liked Dubai. I liked
yeah,
Dubai.
it was good.
So that's what happened with us. We would go during COVID, we walked every night with our other friend Lori and we drank wine. I mean, really.
we did.
We worked, but
Right.
come 5:00, it was walking, talking about housewives and drinking wine was our life.
That was it.
And that's where Lori used to make fun of us. She was like, "Oh my God, you act like they're your friends." We're like, "Well, we kind of feel like they are."
We're
Yeah,
vested.
Yeah.
Except Teresa, she and I are not friends.
No,
Never
No.
happened.
No.
you're not in a
But,
good place.
No, we are not in a good place. So then that's how we started saying we're going to do a podcast.
So I mean, if I can derail the conversation, I mean, if picking up that you're not very happy on Teresa, does that mean you're team Melissa necessarily, or is that?
Percent. I always have been since I will say this because I always do say this. I do think the christening was Joe Gorga's fault.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah,
see
okay, I
that.
could see that.
However,
Okay.
You started
everything
it.
that took place after that, 100% Teresa's fault and Kim D. And I think that they were fine. And I've said this before, they were totally fine. And then Louis entered and he effed that
Yes,
all up.
disrupted it all.
Yeah, Louis
Yes.
really
100%.
screwed up Jersey and
Many levels. Yes.
so many levels.
Many,
Yeah.
many levels. Many, many, many levels.
He's just so creepy. Ugh.
He is, and listen, it's out there. Like his sisters knew where her shore house was, or wherever. I don't know if she still has that shore house in
She doesn't.
what the hell town is it? Whatever, right outside of LBI. She was right outside of LBI. But his sisters knew where she was going to be, and they told him, and he went there, and he stalked her, and he hunted her down.
Yeah, dude wants to be famous.
Woo! At all expenses.
I was
Yeah.
gonna make a joke about him being red, but the lighting on me right now has me a little bit too red faced.
No,
I have no room
you're
to talk.
fine.
I can never make a joke about being red because every time I drink wine, I get red.
Excellent.
Well, that is why we are We Wine Whenever, because whenever we talk about housewives, we drink wine.
It's only appropriate.
Right. Hand in hand.
Alexia did finally admit that the narcissist party was about Todd.
I
Took her
swear
long
she
enough.
said that at the time, that like she said something along the lines of like, they were like, we're gonna forget about Todd and like da 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 da, and I just swear she mentioned it, but I could be imagining it. I don't know.
No, she definitely did. And then she did a 180 and was like, "This is about you girls."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
This narc party, which I still don't know that they knew what that really meant.
they don't. They really don't.
A narc party.
Red flag.
Yeah.
So then the first thing Andy brings up is one of the things that the viewers really reacted to was the lack of reaction to the water toss. And then Alexia jumps in and says, well, looking back and rewatching this, like I should have said something. The way that Julia disrespected Gertie was not okay. It was not all right. We have said this, and I will continue to say this. There was not enough reaction. Gertie was done wrong, and they did not stand by her. And I think that even when Andy brings it up in this reunion, I still don't think it gets the respect that it deserves. And I still don't think they
No,
hear
because
Gertie.
They all start talking about when it's happened to them.
Right.
Right.
Like
Right.
season this, it happened to me. You threw a glass at me, and
It's like, what
they
about
all made it about themselves.
Yeah. And just
Yeah.
still didn't even acknowledge the fact that, like, yeah, this most recent time it happened to you and it was awful and it shouldn't have. And none of them wanted to take any ownership for the fact that they, really rushed out and were just like, they were just appalled that it was happening. I don't know. I
Well,
get so worked up.
Dial it down. I
It's
think
okay.
Yeah.
I think
I
the
mean-
whole couch was just very irked and annoyed that they had to talk about it. And they were very defensive and very quick to wanting to shut it down. But what's crazy is that when you see the unseen footage, they did reprimand Julia at the time, which I don't understand why Bravo didn't show that, because it changes the narrative a lot. So it's just really
Yeah,
weird.
the only thing I can think of is that it was kind of acknowledging that the fourth wall. It was acknowledging they were on a show when they were having that conversation.
Mhm.
But the way they choose so willy-nilly these days when to acknowledge they're on a show and not. So why not add a little bit more to that,
But also too, it's like
Yeah.
they still, even if they did say something to her, they still all sat with her and she was allowed to stay, and they continued on in a very awkward, I'm sure, moment when Marisol could have said, this is my wedding party, whatever it was.
Whatever it was, yeah.
I think you should go, Julia. You're obviously really emotional. It's not a good time and not a good look. But instead they're like, oh, let's just have her stay. And then it just went on from there. So I don't know. It was very messy. Even with the unseen footage, it's still very messy. And I don't think the people on that couch, the non-Gertie couch, care about Gertie. And I think they're highly annoyed about the situation. And yeah, that was my
They're
thought.
definitely annoyed about it. They're not they were clearly trying to ice her out. I mean,
Yes.
the response to her putting those texts up compared to the response of the water toss. I mean, the difference was like, are you kidding me? And
It was crazy.
they were probably thinking about all of the backlash on the rightful backlash on social media, having Gertie's back. Like, yeah, that was bullshit.
Absolutely. And that's where I was getting a little heated just now, is that the text reveal party, they get all worked up and like, that's just things you shouldn't do to your friends. And they all leave the party to console Julia instead of going back and reading the text and seeing, like, to them, those texts could have told us who killed JFK and all, the world's top secrets, and they wouldn't read them because they were too long and they felt that it was, betraying a secret. It's just so ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. And then even when Andy asks if she's going to accept Alexia's apology, there was never an apology. And that's what Gertie
Correct.
said. Like, there was not an apology. How can you accept? And then she went on
This
to
was
say,
the first time I got annoyed with Andy during this reunion. This was the first time because there were more. He just
Yeah.
wants to move on.
Right.
yeah.
Like, if you don't have time to do these reunions, then get somebody else to do it, because
Right.
you can't just rush through that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And I'm glad that Gertie said, what apology? There wasn't an apology. And I'm glad that she wouldn't agree to say, yeah, I'm just gonna let this go, because it shouldn't be let go. It shouldn't.
Yeah, I feel something about Gertie's response. Like, while I agree with her playing it the way she did, it's not connecting, I think, the way that she was hoping it would, because she just seemed like she was, her whole thing saying, oh, I'm just here to listen more than I'm going to speak.
But then she didn't.
And then she didn't. Oh, and especially in the next segment when she just kept interrupting.
Well, Adriana was trying to help
Adriana,
her,
it was
and she's
someone
like,
else.
no, let me. And then, well, in comparison, Julia was very docile. And what do I need to do, Gertie? What do I have to do to get you to forgive me? And, Gertie just seemed like more hyped up. And I think maybe Julia did that by design, of like, I'm just going to sit here and be the nice one. And I've apologized 5 times. And, yes.
Patronizing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
And playing like the damsel in distress. Like, I don't buy it with any of these ladies. Not a damn one of them is the damsel in distress.
No.
Not with that wet hair.
What is with the wet hair? Listen, we saw her at the virtual reality awards. We saw her in New York City, like 2 weeks ago. Same hair. I'm like, what is she doing?
I don't know. It's
Dry the hair.
Just dry. Yeah.
I mean, it was better than that one confessional look where she had the 2 squiggy lines coming down.
Yeah.
She looked like Squiggy from Happy Day.
What I don't
Maybe her
understand,
blow dryer broke.
she's got a team. She's got a team that's doing this to her. It's not even like she's doing it herself.
Her team doesn't like her.
Exactly. We're starting to get convinced that these girls' glam teams are like, you know what? No,
Hey.
it looks great. You look great. Like Lisa
Yeah.
Barlow and that.
One smoky eye.
Oh,
That's all you
Lisa-
need.
Yeah.
That's all you need is one smoky eye. It's the new thing. Everyone's doing it. Gigi Hadid. Oh my God. One smoky eye.
She would totally follow along too. She'd be like, yeah.
Gigi Hadid? Oh. I love that.
Can I say I know her if I do this?
We spent
Because
a lot
then
of
I'm
time
in.
together.
With Blake and Ben.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh,
God.
What's next? So Kiki jumps in and she said, at the event, we were good. And then all of a sudden, I hear that there's a problem and I'm being called a racist. So I don't know how this got thrown into the reunion at this part. Like
Oh yeah.
I feel like
Andy jumps in and tries to explain like what's going on social media. Anytime Kiki was tagged in the post, they were saying that she was racist because of the way that she was trying to remove her from the situation, saying that she looked like an angry Black woman.
Because
Right.
the way she was trying to get Gertie out of that situation, she was
Right.
acting as if Gertie were the problem and Gertie was being aggressive, which anybody watching that would see that that was not the case.
Right.
yeah,
I mean,
Gertie
that's not how I saw it.
Gertie was not going to retaliate physically. She just wanted to have they were fighting, but she was not going to put her hands on Julia. And the way that Kiki was trying to pull her away as if she was trying to break up a fight, and there was no fight. Gertie sat there very calmly, wet, after having water thrown on her when she
Yeah.
could have reacted so many other ways.
I
So,
would have.
and so many other housewives, i.e. Alexia, Marisol, Larsa, would have had a much different reaction than Gertie. So
Absolutely.
Julia would not be walking this earth if she had done that to Alexia. Plain and simple.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
if you're going to try to remove anybody from the situation, remove Julia. She's the one that just got physical
Yeah,
Yes.
with
exactly.
Like,
your
you should-
friend.
Right.
Friend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was interesting.
I feel like Kiki's racist was like as random as like Adriana's racist comment, like during the finale party of like, they're going to say I'm racist. I'm like, where did this come from? No one's saying that you're racist.
We
I
felt
totally
the same
agree
with
with you. Yeah. Like,
We didn't see
unless they're
it.
going to clarify something and show us that something at the reunion that we haven't seen before, which will be super annoying, we have not seen anything indicating that, what'd she say, Kiki called her a racist? That
Right.
Kiki insinuated that Adriana was racist.
Right.
Or
right.
that social media was saying that Kiki was racist.
Yeah.
So they might say like, oh, you're not supporting your fellow Black woman in this position, but I don't think that's not racist. That's just
Right.
Anywho.
I don't
They're
know.
always
When it
looking
gets
for some reason to yell more, right?
I know. And when it gets like that for the audience, honestly, it's very confusing. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why is this what the focus is? Because then this isn't what it was about. It wasn't
Right.
about
Mhm.
that.
And I'll be honest with you, at this point, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell Stephanie got in the first seat next to Andy.
Yeah.
We haven't even
Yeah.
talked about her yet. And the first episode's almost over. We haven't even
Yeah.
talked to her or about her yet.
Well, I mean, in her defense, I mean, she spent the first 4 episodes talking about how rich she was and kind of giving the intro like, "Hi, I'm new on the scene." She wasn't even in the first 2 episodes, I don't think.
She
No,
wasn't,
she
no.
wasn't. You're right.
Yeah, so I think chronologically we got to give her a little bit more time. But yeah, I don't think she still deserves first chair. I don't
I
think.
think
After all
Masood
her
bought
stuff.
it. He bought her the
I
first
think
seat.
you're
Listen,
He upgraded her. He upgraded
did
her to the
upgrade her.
presidential seat, the presidential suite, and the
That's right.
first seat.
And in all honesty, I don't think Alexia deserved the first seat either. Like, I know she's the OG, but why? Because
Right,
she's
right.
getting divorced? I don't know why she was there. It should have been Julia and Gertie.
But then
That's-
Julia would have been in the first seat.
right.
Yeah, well, that's true. And they probably didn't want to do that because of all the backlash on social media she's been
Yeah,
getting.
That's a good
Although they
point,
put
yeah.
Tamara there every time, so.
You know who else was always there? Teresa.
I know.
Teresa was only not first seat like that first season. That's the only other time she was not first seat.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because second season she was, when she literally physically pushed Andy down.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, Melissa came on, and then it was all about Teresa and Melissa. So you're right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wow.
I don't think we'll have that problem anymore.
Just another just another question to add to our trivia game that we're going to write one day. Wendy and I are going to write a Housewives trivia game.
Yeah.
We
I
will
would love
play
it.
We will
I would
play
love
it all
it.
the time.
So then Lisa says, well, we want to hear like what Julia has to say. So Andy asks Julia, like, what made you throw the water that night? And Julia, she starts, well, I understand, like, watching the footage to Adriana, like, brings you back to this horrible place, that was out of my character. It was slightly enhanced because of alcohol, which I will say she was drunk, but that is no
Right.
excuse. That's just no excuse. Nothing I did was planned or rehearsed. Well, I agree that specific moment wasn't planned or rehearsed, but I will say what you said at the end of this episode was 100% planned and rehearsed. Do
Yeah.
you
For
agree?
sure. For sure.
Absolutely.
She workshopped that. Yeah.
Her big bombshell that she dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the cat. She had the canary in her mouth the whole time and just waiting to open up and just let that thing out. So she was working on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the one true thing that she did say during that first bit was basically that she saw an opportunity to impress Alexia and Marisol, and that's why she threw the water. Is she wanted to be reactive. She wanted to like get them to, not pity her, but like take her side, and that's what got her throwing the water. She wanted her moment, and I think that's also what pissed her off is that Gertie called her out. You just wanted a moment, So you've had it now, and now what,
And now you
And
look
then-
like a big jackass.
It
Exactly.
backfired.
And
Yeah.
especially when
Right.
Gertie remained as calm as she did and didn't react the way that Julia wanted, it didn't work out for her. So
Because if Gertie had reacted the way that Julia wanted, it would have been all about Gertie. Then she would for sure be the angry black woman
You
who
got it.
attacked Julia. And yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. That's it. That's 100% it.
Yeah.
Then Marisol brings up the fact that she did take her to the bathroom. And then we see that footage where she tried to talk to Julia and said that, she
Oh,
didn't,
yeah.
that this, we don't do that. This is not acceptable. And then they just keep bringing back up again all the other times, all throughout this reunion. They're bringing back up all the other times that this has happened with the ice bucket. And, Marisol starts yelling at Gertie, you weren't there with the ice bucket when Julia threw it at me. And Gertie said, show the footage. And they show the footage, and Gertie immediately got up, grabbed the ice bucket out of her hand, like she was there for her. And Marisol's still standing on this platform like, no, you didn't stand up for me. Why should I stand up for you? It's
Thing is,
But
just
like,
that's what I mean.
ridiculous.
They made it all about themselves. Like they just
did.
like, what about when this one did this to me, and what about when this one did this to me? Okay, well, but the behavior was wrong then, and the behavior is wrong now. So how about we try to stop the cycle and make someone accountable for their actions?
because they can't see that. Like that conversation was going nowhere. It was just going around in circles and like pointing fingers, like the Spider-Man meme of like who
Yeah.
did what wrong,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
and they were never going to get to a
and because
yeah.
they were trying to ice Gertie out, and they were trying to, make her feel separate from everyone else, they were doing the whole, it's just hazing of sorts. Like, well, it
Yeah.
happened to us, so it happened to you. It's not a big deal. It's like, well, maybe it shouldn't be happening to people. That shouldn't be a rite of passage on the Housewives necessarily.
Right.
As much fun
Yeah,
as it
and
can be to watch, but at least let it be a napkin, not a glass of water.
Right. I mean, and I don't know how you guys felt about Dr. Nicole, but we love Dr. Nicole. And I think I think she was one of the classiest, successful, just a good housewife.
Well, we saw
I
her. Yeah, liked
Yeah.
her. I mean, when
We don't
she
really
was having,
know. We
exactly.
don't really know much about her, but I liked that one scene when she went to lunch with Gertie. And
Well,
from
'cause
what
she-
I've heard
yeah,
about
yeah,
her,
yeah,
she
yeah.
sounds like everyone talks so highly of her, and was so
She's
sad when
great.
she didn't come back this season, but
Yeah.
understood why she
And
didn't. So
so she said that one of the friends, I believe it to be Marisol, basically hired a private investigator to follow her and her partner around to get dirt on them to use for the next season. I mean, first of all, she sold her house to Jeff Bezos' mother. So she clearly doesn't need the money. Like,
Right.
who
Yeah.
would put themselves in that position? But so when you said hazing, you're absolutely right. They were not nice to Dr. Nicole when she came on the show because Alexia and Marisol, and I don't care how much money they have, they were very intimidated by her. They were jealous of her, I thought.
the difference with Stephanie, because she seems to have theoretically as much money as Dr. Nicole, she was a bit at least under control because she was Larsa's friend. So there wasn't
Yeah.
as much of a threat. So Alexia and even though they have their shoes, Alexia and Marisol with Stephanie, at the end of the day, they can keep her like calm in a
Yeah.
sense. Whereas Nicole was, from what I hear, wasn't having it. And I think that when you have a housewife who's gonna like try to challenge the status quo in the OGs,
Yes.
they get really threatened by it. So
She definitely challenged Alexia. Dr. Nicole definitely challenged Alexia. And I was
She
here
needs
for every
that.
second of it. Yeah.
But that's the thing
For
too. It's like
sure.
if you realize, if
For
you really
sure.
believe in like what's good for the show, you want to have different points of view to make it interesting. You have to like remove
Yeah.
yourself, I think, from I don't like this girl to like, but everyone, a lot of people do like her. She has fans. It's a different point of view. It adds drama to the show. Like this isn't best friend show. It's Housewives. So,
Right.
so
Right.
like they try to, it seems to me watching Miami and how they operate off camera, they try to play casting director and ice people out and get people in. And it's like, just sit back and be a housewife,
Yeah.
don't
Know
produce.
know
don't
your
cast.
role.
Yeah.
Marisol acts, off camera, I think, when she does these podcasts and stuff, Marisol acts like she actually has something to do with the casting.
Yeah.
Well, I will
And she's
say
a friend
this.
of.
She is
Right,
a
right.
friend of, but after the big bombshell that came at the end about the Hamptons trip, I went back and I rewatched that episode. I watched the couple episodes from season 4. And that was Dr. Nicole's first season. And in the Hamptons, Marisol really started, and I forgot, because I hadn't seen it in a while. Marisol really started in on Dr. Nicole, saying that I heard that you did this, I heard that you did that. And really it comes down to is that Marisol is very close with production. Marisol is the one who moves the storyline along. Anna has said it. Many people have said it who have worked on the show. Marisol and production are very tight. And Marisol did not want Dr. Nicole there because, like you said, she was threatened by her. She's successful, she's independent, and she's articulate. And she did whatever she had to do. And she immediately went after her. I mean, at the Hamptons house, she said to her, "Oh, let's play a game. Who at this table do you trust the least?" And
Is that
nobody
where that
wanted to
comes
answer.
from?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah.
heard about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marisol
We
said
need to
that,
rewatch that
We should, yeah.
Yeah, you have to rewatch it. It's season 4 and
or watch
you'll
it.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's season 4 and she just starts out by stirring the pot and trying to paint Dr. Nicole in a bad light. And Dr.
Yeah.
Nicole comes back with, well, Alexia said the only reason you got married to Steve is so that you were relevant. And Alexia's like, I didn't say that to you. And she's like, now she's trying to come between me and Marisol, and we've been friends for 20 years, and then, of course, and then she has Alexia going after Dr. Nicole because she stood up for herself.
Yep.
So if you'll
And
see
Larsa gets in
them.
on it too. Larsa, is it that season or the other season? Larsa says, I heard you slept with the whole hospital or something.
Yeah, Larsa does. She said that. Yeah, she did.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ground to cover,
Yep.
Doctors, nurses, female, male. That's a lot of people.
Yep.
All the franchises have the similar problem where they're always trying to take down another housewife or another, and I know that's
Yes.
part of the drama for some people. I just would prefer if every time they just made themselves more interesting.
Yeah.
Like don't
Yes.
distract from the fact that you don't have anything going on other than the same old shit over and over and over again. Just get something new so we can focus on what makes you a good housewife and not what makes this other person necessarily an allegedly bad housewife or
Yeah.
boring or whatever. It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
Like bring something to the conversation.
Totally agree. And listen, Wendy and I have said it a million times. That's what Housewives was when it first started. It was just successful, affluent women who were raising their families, some working, some not, some married, some not, but they were just women with wealth and we got to see their lives. Like
Right.
Gina Keogh was married to an ex-ball player raising 3 kids in Coto de Casa and opened up her whole home to us, Meanwhile, her husband was an alcoholic their whole marriage and, got to learn that. But she was such a good housewife, Gina. That's what we like to see.
Mhm.
I swear, I think Tamara's the one who started this whole coming after the other housewives, but maybe I shouldn't put all the blame on her. I just remember, did you go to Bass Lake? Like, to me, that changed the whole game in Housewives. And we're
I didn't
still,
watch-
we're still talking about it.
Right.
Yes.
I didn't watch OC. When we first started watching, I was like, why don't we watch the OC? And he's like, I can't tell any of them apart. They all look exactly the same. And
I don't like anybody on
I
the
don't
show.
like
Yeah.
So we didn't start watching until Tamara came back. And the only reason is
Okay.
because we listened to 2Ts. And when she's on her podcast, she seems very reasonable. But then when she gets on the show, she gets into on-screen Tamara mode, and it just gets a little wackadoo, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, we still
Yeah.
defend her.
It's funny you say that because Wendy and I think we agree on this. Tamra
Yeah.
came on season 3, guns blazing. And by the time they got rid of her, I think it was time for her to take a break. I was not a fan of Tamra by the time they got rid of her. I was happy to see her go. However, then I started listening to Two Teas in a Pot and I'm like, oh my God, like this is like a different Tamra. Like I'm really enjoying her.
Right.
She's
And they put her
likable.
back on the show and I'm like, yep, same old Tamra.
Yeah,
Same
there's just
Tamra.
those lights must come on, and she just must something
Click.
happens in her brain, and
I
off it
think
goes.
that's what it is.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, she thinks she's doing her job, so you got to give her credit for being a good employee.
Yes.
She gets employee of the year.
So basically, the Julia and Gertie storyline is that Gertie is not going to accept the apology, and she's not putting a Band-Aid on it. And I'm glad that she's not. I'm glad that she's not
Agreed.
going to.
Yeah,
I'm glad that she's
a lot
not.
of these apologies for the sake of apologizing. I get that they need to move on, but sometimes you can just tell it's like this is going to be brought up again 20 more times. Like I'd rather just sit with it and go through it than have to pretend we're over it just for it to come back 3 weeks from now and we gotta go through it all over again. So
Or just say, we'll try again at some point. We're not in the place to forgive, but we're open to trying again.
Right.
That's honest. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then we move on to Stephanie, and Andy starts out with Stephanie flaunting her wealth. That was really the big storyline. The viewer said Stephanie is plane focused, emphasis on the plane.
I like a good pun.
Good.
And Stephanie's response is, I thought it was very odd. She's like, well, like a football player, when he wins the Super Bowl, like he wears his rings because he's proud of what he's done. And I'm proud of what I've done.
I think we should all agree that housewives should never use analogies.
Right.
Because they are unsuccessful every time.
Yeah.
Every
Agreed.
time.
It's the Jackie Accord.
Yeah, it never lands.
Yeah, that Jackie
No.
one was bad.
No.
But this one wasn't great either.
No. But I mean, I feel as though like they obviously brought her on the show and said, we need to give you a very digestible personality for the first few episodes. Like we need to give you a persona to follow. And I think she's kind of being screwed by production in a sense that like they definitely amped up her wealth, told her to talk about it. I think that she could have, instead of choosing that analogy, she could have said something, much more diplomatic of like, look, I was new, I was nervous. I just talk about my wealth a lot. But
or I enjoy my life. I have a great life and I want to
That's
express that on the show and, yada, 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 and my business. But it gets a little tacky after.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but do you remember when Dana Wilkie was on Beverly Hills that one season as Taylor Armstrong's friend?
$25,000.
Yes.
And she got so much heat for that. And then Andy brought her out on the reunion, and it was like a very honest moment. She was like, listen, I was very excited to be around you women, and I knew how much you had, and I, wanted to fit in. Like, it was such an honest moment. Like, if you didn't like her before, you had no choice but to like her after that. So I agree. I think if Stephanie kind of came in and was like, listen, I was happy to be here. And I was a little nervous. It would have maybe landed a little bit better. But I
got
like
carried
her.
away. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I got carried away.
No,
I think she's
like
coming
her
back.
too.
I don't think there's a question. She's coming back.
I think so too. Yes.
I like her. She said what she did learn from watching the show is that her tone comes across as harsh and that, she attributes that to the fact that she works in a predominantly male field and that she can't be soft-spoken and quiet, but she also learned that she can treat friends as transactional. And I think that, I think that's good insight for her. I think that, she's excited for her sisters to actually watch the show because they will see that it's not just them that don't like her. Her friends don't like her either because of the way she is. Like, at least they'll, see that this is just who she is. It's not because of,
right. That she's not being personal to them. It's just this is how she is.
It's just her personality. So we'll see how that goes.
Did you guys catch when when Stephanie was talking about, having to be powerful in a male-dominated industry, and Gertie was agreeing with her and basically said, like, I feel the same way. Did you catch, like, Alexia and Marisol's reactions to that?
No.
Like, they thought it was ridiculous that Gertie was, like, I guess,
Oh,
including
and
herself
Marisol
in
did have a
that.
weird. Julia too had a weird.
Maybe it was Marisol and Julia. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking
yes,
of.
yes.
And,
But that was also the
again,
moment when Gertie was over on the other couch, just like kind of interjecting every
She was
yeah.
she was amening her a
yeah,
bit much.
You know,
Yeah.
Yes.
it was like,
Yeah.
not your segment anymore, Gertie. Okay,
Yeah.
let
I
Stephanie have
know.
her time.
I know. I don't like when they do that. I really don't.
Yeah,
Like silently agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
A
nod.
head
Yeah.
nod.
Just
A
nod.
head
Just
nod.
nod.
Yes.
Just nod.
Then a viewer asks that they don't believe that she met Masood at a basketball game, that she was hired by the ex-wife as an assistant. So she goes on to explain that she's never met Masood's ex-wife, that is not true, that he was actually separated for 8 years. And she said this on podcasts. Like, this is something she's been saying throughout the season before, she even met him. And then Adriana jumps in and says, well, until we were out to lunch and then you saw her. And she's like, yes, but I didn't meet her. So they were at a restaurant and she saw Masood's ex-wife and she's like, I don't want her to see me. And even when she said that, I read online that people were still criticizing her, saying, well, she should have, how would she know if she saw, of course she's going to know what she looks like. I mean, are you
Right.
that
What she looks like,
stupid?
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
why would she go up to her? She's never met her before. Why would she, like, they thought she should have went up. I'm like, no, why would you do that? Like, I don't think anything that she did about that whole situation was wrong. And I believe her. I believe that she's never
I
met
believe her
her.
as well.
I hadn't heard that rumor that she worked for the ex-wife, so that was all new to me. But if she said she didn't, then she didn't.
And I'm
Yeah.
astounded how many times there's just some little story some fan concoct somewhere out of
Thin air.
circumstantial at best information that like
Yes.
it takes on a life of its own, and it just like, how is this taking on so much? It's so weird. But yeah, no, I totally believe her. She has no reason to lie.
She doesn't have any reason to lie, and his children, I'm sure, are grown, and maybe he had a very contentious divorce. Like I mentioned before, my girlfriend who went through a 3-year divorce, like she can't wait until her youngest is 18. So it's like
Yeah, don't
Go
be
ahead.
that man. Yeah.
Yeah.
good luck in the future. Maybe that's the kind of divorce he had where it was like, our kids are grown. Like, I'll see you at their weddings when their kids are born, when they have birthday parties, but we don't need to speak anymore. So why would she have to have a relationship with his ex-wife?
And then on top of that, does his ex-wife really want to see his new wife? Like, oh, thanks for coming up to me at a restaurant, the highlight of my day, you know?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Highlights.
No, I know. So then Stephanie says the biggest surprise she took away from the season is how much I love every single girl here. I didn't really think I was going to love them. And I thought that was sincere also. I think because she was open that she didn't have friends before.
That's true. It felt a little ass kissy to me, though, to the other couch. It felt a little too much like, oh, Alexia and Marisol and I are besties now. And as much as they went back and forth with her, and I like that she still calls them out, it seems,
Mhm.
but I just felt it was a little too kiss-assy on that side of the couch. But you're right. I forgot that she was very open about, like, I don't really have friends, so it's nice to, be part of a group and not necessarily be talking about my career all the time, that sort of thing, which seemed to be the primary focus of hers.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to a point with Miami where the newcomers think they have to kiss the ring of Alexia. Like on Jersey, where people for a long
Mhm.
time there thought they had to kiss Teresa's ring. I think
Correct.
that's where we're headed with Miami, and it's not good.
No, I agree. And what's weird is that I don't think Alexia has the same, I mean, while they call her the Teresa clone, I don't think she has even half the personality Teresa had, and that's saying a lot. Like, at least Teresa,
Nor the fan support. I mean,
Right.
we've
Right.
never seen fan support like Teresa has had.
right.
Mhm.
So there's no, she does not have that.
Yeah, so I'm just always confounded as to why everyone think Alexia walks on water like that. I'm just like, I don't understand it. So
Yeah, how about when Lisa excused herself from the table with Larsa when they were at lunch and goes in the bathroom and calls Alexia and says, she said that you guys don't like me. It's like, why are you calling Alexia?
That's so
not
weird.
valid to the
What is
conversation you're
going
having
on?
with Larsa.
Yeah.
So next, Andy moves on to Lisa. Everyone knows Lisa lives in Lisa land. Have you listened to what Jody said about controlling the chaos in your life? And she's like, yeah, I have a therapist now, and that's been very helpful. Like, I didn't realize that, like, I don't want everyone waiting on me. I didn't realize that I had such a problem with, like, calculating my time properly. And I had mentioned to Kelly a couple episodes ago, she had said on a podcast that she's actually hired, like, a coach to help her be on time more because she, it was a problem and she wants to address it. And I think, listen, I think that's growth, I think she is trying. And she also said, compared to 3 years ago, when she was first separated, like she's a totally different person. And I 100% agree with that. When that whole thing went down with Lenny, she was a mess because she wasn't used to being on her own. She just was a mess. And now
She
she
reminds
is
me of a little girl, Lisa. She just
I
reminds
could
me of
see
a
that.
little girl, right?
Yeah.
I think that
Like
she
not
has
Sort
like
of a
no
doll.
bad
learned.
intentions. Like if
Right.
she's late because she's late. Like she's not
She's
like
not
Right.
she's not calculating, It just
Right.
seems like this is who I am and better for
Right.
worse.
I can
That's
see
it.
that.
That's a very good way to put it. She's not calculating and she does not have bad intentions. There's not malice in her like some of these
No.
housewives, right? And the fact
Yeah.
that it's been brought to her attention and she's working on it and she's trying to do better, I think, that speaks a lot for who she is. Andy
Now I'm
asked her
wondering how
about
I get a job as a time management coach.
I know, right?
It's crazy. It seems this is oddly specific. I am sure just a life coach, but
If you can have an accountability coach.
yeah,
Very true. It's
That's
probably the
just
same
crazy.
Are you
coach.
on time for things? Is this something you want to look into?
I'm actually on time. I'm pretty good on
We're
things.
good on time. Hate being late.
Good. I don't like being late either. I
I feel bad.
I get like anxiety.
So.
I don't
Yeah,
like
no,
to
I'm
throw
a
that
nail
word
biter, and
around.
you can tell when I've been late. It's by the lack of fingernails that I have. The lower they are, the more late I've been lately. I can't physically now. I got to make sure I'm on time.
All right. So Lisa says co-parenting is not going well with Lenny, and we kind of move on from that. The next thing Andy brings up is Martina recently posted on Twitter, surrogacy is just wrong. Sometimes you can't have it all. And he asks Lisa what her thoughts are on that because both of her children were born via surrogate. And I think it's interesting that he did that because obviously his children were born via surrogate as well. And he couldn't put it coming from him. So he had Lisa there to ask that question.
I'm sorry. This was the second time I got annoyed with Andy because he should have made it. He should have said.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right?
I 100%
It was
agree.
really quick. Just like,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
agree with
way too
Martina.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
And also like he's gotten, I think, because of whatever it was, the whole, lawsuit or whatever, the Leah, what's her face from New York stuff.
McSweeney.
Thank you. Yeah. He's gotten so like, oh, that's an HR problem. So he gets really, really diplomatic in the largest air quotes you can imagine about like not wanting to be confrontational because he's,
Yeah.
I'm in a position of power, so I can't really have an opinion about this. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I think where it's important, have the opinion about it. I mean, this is very, very important to him and his, his life. And,
And many other housewives
Yeah.
have had a surrogate. So, it's just very
Absolutely.
offensive. And for just Julie to say, like, I disagree. And, oh, okay. Well, thank you for saying that, Julie. I mean, it's just,
Yep. Totally brushed over it.
and
Totally
then to
brushed
put it all
over it.
on, and to put it all on Lisa to have either to make it an issue or not was kind of not right of him either. I mean, I think he could have, whatever she said, at least chimed in and said, hey, I think it's screwed up too, but maybe it's already obvious. I mean, maybe there's hours of Radio Andy where he's talked about it and he doesn't feel like he needs to go on the record anymore, but
I do
don't
think
know.
he brought it up at Watch What Happens Live with Julia. I do think that they discussed it on
Yeah.
Watch What Happens Live. But I don't know if he made it personal about himself. Like, I just felt like he should have had a personal opinion on that.
agreed.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then he moves on to Julia. We saw that you asked Derek to be the boy's godfather. Did you and Martina ask anyone to be the godmother? And she's like, well, not yet. And then he said, well, did you guys consider Adriana? And she's like, no, she was not considered.
But I'm sorry, Adriana, you'd be the godmother of Basquiat. Please do not. Do
That was
not.
hysterical. That was so funny.
Yeah. we have 2 cats, and we're always like, "Oh, you're a good little cat dad." It's like, "No, we are cat owners. We have 2 pets. They're not our children. They're not this. We get that people love their animals, and we love ours, but we don't need a godparent for our
No,
animals. We
no.
do not."
Oh my gosh, I am so glad to hear you say that because some of these
Yeah.
pet owners are crazy. And
Yeah.
Kelly and I are not, we are not pet owners. We say we have children
not
and
pet
that's
owners.
enough. We have children. Like, I'm sorry, that's enough. We're not
Yeah,
pet
so
owners,
much
so we
more than
don't
enough.
get it. We do not get it.
Yeah. Like we
Just
love our
like I
cats,
said.
but like there's a limit.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I would love a pet. I hear people talk about their vet bills. I'm like, $3,000 because your
Yeah.
cat needs insulin. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
never.
Yeah, we just came off the tail end of one of those bills, so
Woo.
our cat passed recently, but yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, it's sad, but we're good. We're in a good place now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also, what show was it where she's dying her damn dog? Was that Atlanta? Where she was like,
Oh,
Kelly
yes.
dying. Yeah.
Kelly. Yeah.
So he won't get kidnapped.
So he's easily identifiable.
yes.
Yes. That's what it is.
That's
But yeah,
craziness.
so, but hey,
Not only is he pink, he has fake lashes.
That dog is miserable.
He's not going to get kidnapped. He's going to, God forbid, walk the wrong way because he can't see through the lashes and get.
God, but yeah, no Adriana as godmother of those children.
It was like
No.
a dagger to the heart.
Ooh, ooh.
So Andy brings up the first time we met Julia and Adriana were in 2021 when they got friend engaged, which also happens in the Hamptons, by the way, in season 4.
Yes.
Because I saw that. I was like,
Yes.
wait, what? Who?
Yes.
When they showed
They
the
got
clip, I had to shield my face. That was the most cringeworthy moment, and I
Cringy.
cannot
Yes.
imagine watching it when it happened the first time. Oh my God. Ugh.
It's like worse
You
than
should watch
Nene.
that episode because
Yeah.
Julia gets very, very ill.
She's
Oh.
And
hungover.
she's hungover, but she will not admit it. She won't admit it. And the night before is supposedly when the first intimate encounter happened.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
Adriana brings up that she was upset that Alexia saw the boys before she did. Andy seems that Julia's close friendship with Marisol and Alexia is what catapulted the demise of her friendship with Adriana. I mean, I don't really think that that's the case. I know that that's what Adriana is saying is because she got close to them. I think it's just Julia's behavior in general. Like the fact that she wasn't there for her and that, she didn't get to see the boys first. And
But don't you think that's a result of her getting closer with Alexia and Marisol? Don't you think that off camera, in between seasons, Alexia and Marisol probably reached out to Julia and were like, listen, we'd love to get together.
I mean,
And,
it could
you know,
be.
just started
she-
kind of pulling her in and
Pull
pulling
her
her in.
in. And she's like, oh, the
It-
popular girls like me now.
Exactly.
It could be
She's
that.
got the pick me energy. Yeah.
It definitely could
Very
be that.
Heather of Salt Lake City with Lisa
Ugh.
Barlow.
God, yes.
Like-
You know?
We're gonna need a whole nother
Like, oh my
hour
God.
if we're gonna start talking about that.
Lisa was popular in high school and she's actually talking to me right now.
Do not understand all of Salt Lake's obsession with being like besties with Lisa or Jen Shaw or whatever the case. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
So, what do you think about the bombshell? So then Julia drops the bombshell that, that her and Adriana slept together in the Hamptons. And do you think it's true?
So I had it ruined for me because I was an idiot who was scrolling on his phone a moment before in a commercial break, and I was like, "Damn it!" So I did not have it, but he clutched
I
his pearls.
gasped. Big gay gasp. Yeah.
He was like, "Whoa, my God!"
I didn't see that coming at all. So kudos to her for that was a good bomb drop. I don't know if I believe it because I don't believe much that comes out of Julia's mouth. I couldn't tell by Adriana's reaction if I should believe it, if she was, I don't know. I don't know.
The only reason I believe it is from scenes from next week or clips that I've seen since. Adriana's speaking very candidly, and I think she says something like, "That's not what started this." And it could be magical editing where we're led to believe she's talking about some sort of intimate encounter. But I tend to believe that it happened. But I don't know that it maybe happened to the degree that Julia's making it out to be. Like, maybe they made out a little bit, maybe a little bit of this or that, but like Julia really is overhyping it, I think. That's my gut instinct on that.
Yeah. Do you believe it?
My thought is if it happened in 2021, why is it all of a sudden a problem now when they were filming this in 2024 and now 2025? Like, what's changed? Like, what's changed?
That's a good point. Yeah. Why all of a sudden, like,
So
now
if
it's a
that
problem?
did happen, right? If that did happen, what does that change? Because she's saying like what you don't know is that we slept together. Okay, so you slept together. What does that have to do with what is going on right now between you two? What does that
Right,
have to do
because
with it?
it seems like we slept together one time, not that we've been having an ongoing affair. So,
Right, but she does
yeah, how is
say
it
in the
relevant?
right,
Yeah.
right. How is it relevant? Like, what does it have to do with what's going on right now? I just think it's deflection. Whether she slept with her or she didn't sleep with her, who cares? What does it have to do with what's going on right now?
I mean, unless she's going to spin some sort of jealousy narrative in the next episode that, I didn't spend more attention on you and I started giving it to other people and you liked it when I, flirted with you and gave you attention. And, that's the only thing I could think that might make it relevant. But you're right. You're absolutely right. It isn't relevant.
I hadn't thought about that until just now. That's a really good point.
That just means it's
So
going to be
I
a
told
letdown.
Wendy last week my third eye was open. I thought that was what Julia was going to say. I
She did.
really thought that's what she was going to say. I don't know if I believe it though.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be something to do with like the boys or something. I did not see this coming. I think she definitely got a moment from it, so maybe this is, they want a moment for themselves at the reunion. So they're like asked back. So maybe that was her like, boom, look, bring me back.
That's what
Season
I'm
7.
thinking. Yeah. So now production will be like, well, now we know this about them. So we have to see how they interact next season.
Oh, see it play out.
Yeah. Especially with Martina, and Wendy and I have said this before, like, we really think Martina likes being on this show. We think Martina's really enjoying her spousal role in Miami.
Yeah, I would agree with that. She never seems to be
think-
like
Go ahead.
other spouses seem to be like either begrudging 100% or they love the spotlight. She seems to just like be very casually there and just really at ease with being on camera. Whereas if she didn't like it, it would show for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she would go along with whatever tale Julia's spinning.
So then will we see them in couples therapy next season?
Oh, I hope not.
That would be interesting. Part of me does believe it, though, because I think Julia is a very flirty person. I have no idea what goes on in their marriage, but I do believe the Captain Sandy story from that cruise. I do believe that she was trying to get Gertie not to come to wherever she was coming because she was going to
It was the Captain Sandy dinner.
So she didn't want a witness there.
Yeah. So part of me does kind of believe that maybe she did have something with Adriana. I mean, Adriana's a very flirty person, too. Not that means you would sleep with a married woman, but I'm just saying.
Right. Maybe that's what Gertie and Adriana were talking about. The details don't matter anymore. Maybe all three of them know something about the Captain Sandy table.
Right. Right.
Because, like Adriana was like, you got to talk about the cruise. And Gertie was like, no, it doesn't matter. But Adriana was really adamant of like, come on, talk about the cruise. I'll back you up.
Don't you think that because at some point Adriana hands Julia a box, something in that box could have something to do with Captain Sandy?
Could.
I don't know why. This is so dumb in my head. I always just think there's a dead animal in it. The way the reaction is when she looks at it, she's like, no.
And it's a very ornate box.
Yeah.
It was a very pretty box.
Like a dried squirrel or something. I don't know why I'm so dumb.
It seems like something bad.
Funny.
Yeah.
Like something bad in the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting, though. Well, I mean, I guess they did their job. We want to know what happens in the next episode. And now they have a reason to have 3 reunion episodes out of a season that probably didn't need them.
Yeah. This could be a twofer.
Yeah. Aren't you surprised they dropped this in the first episode and didn't make us wait?
Not if there's bigger stuff coming.
That's true.
That's
I
true.
think that I think that there's bigger stuff coming.
Yeah, the next episode could very well be like did that really happen? And she's like, well, no. And then they just quickly move on from this and
Mm.
make a nothing burger out of it. And so it's like, I hope that's not the case. I hope there's some meat to this and there's
Yes.
some more discussion and it's not just some throwaway accusation or,
Yeah, like Adriana's denying it and Julia's saying it's true. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
we need more than that. Like,
And then
why
Andy
wouldn't if she was going to do this, why didn't she bring Martina on? Like, let's get Martina involved in this.
Well,
Yeah.
someone had to
Martina?
stay home with the boys.
She's home with the boys. By the way, what are your thoughts on this? People are like up in arms about the fact that they changed the boys' names.
Which
Do
is something
you
I
find-
also hadn't heard about until it got mentioned in relation
The reunion.
on the reunion. It's a little, yeah.
a little white saviory. Is that what you're trying to say? It does seem a little like we're to the rescue and we're going to, erase your previous life.
Right.
Kind of,
And
how
this
it
is who
could
you're going to be
seen-
going forward now.
Right. And we're going to tell that to you and not let you be who you've been, so.
Well, I kind of want to know what their names were before this then.
For sure.
I know,
For
but I
sure.
don't think
Oh,
she
do you
said it
think
was
there
for
was something-
security reasons. She said it was for security
Oh.
reasons. But
Oh,
okay.
that's bullshit.
Okay.
I think that's bullshit. I mean,
Well, if it's a closed adoption, though, right? If it's a closed adoption and you don't want anybody ever coming to find them, I mean,
Mhm.
Martina's got a pretty famous last name. So if you know the boy's first name, you
Yeah.
can figure it out.
I mean, if it is truly just quote unquote a stage name, for the sake of the show, fine. But if
legally
they
changed their
legally
names.
changed them, and that seems
think
really,
they
really.
did.
Because
But
they're like not little babies. They've
Right.
been known
Right,
as these
exactly.
names
I mean,
for quite some
one's like
time.
3.
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
it's a little.
It's a little
sus.
sus.
For sure. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
sus.
Yeah.
So
That's the one thing I want to know more because I don't like Julia, but I do want to know about the whole thing with her daughters and, the fallout and like why they were so upset. And because she really kind of just danced around and like, oh, we have a falling out. I'm like, let's get more into that. Why were they so upset about this adoption? And
Totally agree.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
need more on that.
yeah.
That's the other thing that comes out in season 4 that I totally forgot about. So Julia mentions that, she had lost a baby. So she has 3 children with 3 different fathers that she never married. So her 2
Really?
daughters
I didn't realize that.
There's a third?
that she
Wow.
lost. She lost
she
the
lost.
baby.
Oh, lost. Okay.
She had a baby that she lost
Mm.
because
Okay.
of the nanny. But all 3 of her children had different fathers, none of which she married.
I didn't realize
mean-
that. I thought the 2 girls, the 2
She
older
mentioned
girls
it on
now had the same dad.
Yeah, she mentioned it on season 4. I was like, oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
There's so much about Julia like below the surface.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
well,
much
that's what I'm
going on.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I think that there's more. I mean, listen, she's a beautiful woman. She obviously was a model. And,
Yeah.
I think that, maybe there's some sort of trauma that came from her childhood over in Russia with, I don't know. I think that you're right. I think there's a lot about Julia we don't know.
Anger issues, trauma makes
Yeah.
sense too.
For sure.
And not
All
that
right,
I'm
well,
saying it would be nice for her to share some of that, but again, getting to know her more,
Right.
at some level or another would be very interesting as opposed to, mudslinging.
It would be real.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Your
Right.
real reality.
Because we say this all the time. Like, we don't treat our friends like this.
No.
Like, this is,
We
I'm
ask
not digging
ourselves-
dirt up on Wendy from when she was 19 years old. And, this is not how women behave in friend groups.
Yeah,
No.
we ask
Typically.
ourselves that all the time. Like, do you have any friend in the world who would react like that or do this or do that? And-
higher PI.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Who has the time?
Or the
And I'm
money.
sorry. If you're from New Jersey, you do not hire private investigators to look into anybody.
You
You
find
just
out things you don't want to
smile
know.
and wave and let them go on their business. Go about their business.
Well, that's our other thing is like there's so many times on these shows where people, it's like, what's it matter to you what this person did or did not do? And it's like, okay, so Adriana and Julia slept together. Who cares? Like at the end of the day, fine. Like, what's it
Right.
matter that happened? And so, like, until you can bring it back around and give us a reason why we should really care, other than like, okay, hot gossip, then
Right.
don't. So
The only thing is if unless Adriana was like, listen, Julia, if you're really going to be friends with Alexia and Marisol now, you're really going to do this and go down that road. I'll let it out that you and I had an affair while you were married to Martina. unless that's what happened. But it doesn't seem like that's what happened.
No.
It seems like there's something else that at the finale party that Adriana like kind of threatened, like I will take this to the grave, but I could say it. And so there's something beyond this sleeping together thing that she has on on Julia, which I hope she drops it.
Yeah,
Hopefully
we'll
next
have to wait and see.
next episode.
Yep. Well, we
So
definitely
we're
went
gonna
over
have
your
to wrap
target of
this
an
up.
hour.
Yes, yes, we did.
I know.
It's supposed to be 45 minutes.
I know. I've been watching Kelly the whole time, wondering, is she getting Nancy over there? Like, it's for well over 45 minutes.
I knew it was going to go longer with 4 of us.
Yeah. No, this has been wonderful. This is great.
Yeah,
So
this
much
was a
fun.
lot of fun. We'll definitely do this again.
Please. Thanks so much.
All right, so I'm going to thank everyone for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever, and thank you for joining us, Husbands Watching Housewives. Please subscribe, give us 5-star reviews, and check out our brother podcast.
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.